Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. After that very absorbing session with the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, we will now turn to another subject that, as Abba said, is on top of the news recently. Ever since Rishi Sunak became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, interest in Britain has soared across the country. Sunak is not only Britain's first non-white Prime Minister, but also the first British Asian of Indian ancestry and a practicing Hindu to become one. And at 42, Sunak is the youngest ever Prime Minister of the UK in over 200 years. But Sunak takes over at a time when Britain is at a critical crossroads. It is facing an unprecedented economic crisis. Its relations with the international community are still being redefined after its exit from the European Union in 2020. It also has to deal with the fallout of the Ukraine war, and as importantly for us, Britain's relations with India is at a promising but tricky stage. We are delighted to have with us Ellis, the British High Commissioner to India, to take us through some of these big questions that we have about the way forward for Sunak and the UK. Alex is a career diplomat and also a top expert in national security and international strategy, having served as Deputy National Security Advisor and Director General for the exiting of the EU. And he, with his broad perspective, will also touch on other international affairs. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give Ellis a very warm welcome. Thank you for being with us at the India Today Conclave, Mumbai. In a short span of time, you have seen 3 Prime Ministers. You've been here since the past 2 years almost. What has been the change that you've seen? Have you had a word with Rishi Sunak after he's become the UK Prime Minister, and what is your experience of dealing with him?
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here today. Tough act to follow, I think, after the Chief Minister, but I'll give it a go. So, UK-India relationship, I think, and the partnership is one of continuity as well as change. It's true, we've been through some political turbulence. But the course was set as we left the European Union by the integrated review, which set up for a much deeper and higher ambition with India. There are some good reasons for that. First, it is a much more geopolitically tense world, much more competitive world. Secondly, we have some opportunities, having left the EU, on our migration policy, on our trade policy. And thirdly, there was definitely some chemistry between Prime Minister Modi ji and Boris Johnson, but what's interesting to me is that's continued through now with Liz Truss and now into Rishi Sunak as well. So I think we're very much on that course.
And you worked with Rishi before, when he was Finance Minister as well, or as we say in Britain, Chancellor of the Exchequer. What was your experience, and did he give you any advice on how to handle relations with India?
So first let me try and say, and please excuse my Hindi, which I will now inflict on all of you. ज़रूर वे बारियाचा मूल पंजाबी मूल के हैं और हिंदू भी हैं. ये दिल और दिमाग पूरी तरह से ब्रिटिश है. आजकल मुझे बहुत खुशी है कि आजकल मेरे देश में मॉडर्न यूनाइटेड किंगडम में दोनों संभव हैं.
Excellent. That's more Hindi than I can speak.